Well, all right. Welcome, everybody. It is, hey there, hi there, ho there, Thursday evening. It is 5 p.m. Pacific time and 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we are here once again, as we always are, every Thursday evening in the Learning Wing at Online Techniques. I want to welcome everybody here that's in the room tonight. It's good to see so many new people here. And tonight, we're going to do something that I've been asked specifically to do. I did something similar to it over at Prospect Geyser the other day, and but this is a more expanded and more generic version of it. In the back office at the Learning Wing, there are a bunch of recorded trainings, and there is that truncated version. What we had to do was drop out some information here to be able to include information specific to Prospect Geyser, but tonight, we're going to approach keywords, and we're going to approach them in a much more generic way. And we'll talk about, the different reasons you have keywords, and therefore the different keywords you have. We'll talk about the different kinds of keywords and what the different things are that they're good for. And then we'll show you how to find them. So let me see in the text chat. Before we get going here, we are recording, by the way, so if we have any kind of technical problems or anything like that, you can always catch up with this. It should be up tomorrow or Saturday in the Learning Wing. And all you guys, if you are not on the mailing list at Online Techniques, you can go to, Kate, if you could put the address up there in the text chat. We could go to onlinetechniques.net and simply sign into the mailing list there. That way you get email notices of all these things, and you're up on, whether you want to be here or not. Okay. I have to be here. You don't have to be here. But it's nice to see you when you are. I want to alert you to a couple of things. Number one is, thanks, Kate. Number one is that I am terrible at multitasking. Okay, I'm absolutely horrible. I'm not going to say the normal joke, although it's not a joke, it's a true story that I normally do when I talk about multitasking. But just believe me, take it from me, I can't do two things at once. So I'm not very good at keeping up with the text chat while we go. So if you have questions, then please, kind of hold on to them to the end. I'll take at specific moments, I'll ask for people to respond to things. But in general, I can't keep track of it. So keep your questions until the question and answer period at the end. That way I won't get, lose air in my head and fall down from being lost. So I'm going to get right into this. Let me see in the text chat before we get going, how many people feel in the room that they do not have a very good grasp of the whole keyword thing. Maybe you're starting to blog and, you got plugins asking you for what your keywords are, and you're, going, I don't know. Okay, Dale and Gus are being, and Patsy are being honest about this, okay? Patsy says you got about a 50% understanding of it. Okay. Well, good, because this was something that somebody specifically asked me to do at this one tonight. I feel like I've done it a lot. However, it's information that's really so basic to what we do online, especially if you're blogging, you have your own website, things like that. It's really basic, and there are so many people who do not understand it. I mean, Janet can testify that for years and years she went along not really knowing about keywords and how to do keyword research and stuff like that. And guys, this can be tremendously powerful for you. Now, if you're in the blogging workshop, then that is it's a series of videos that tell you how to put a blog together designed to draw traffic so that you can, draw traffic. And the biggest attraction in there, I think, from the reactions I've gotten, is the fact that you can put a blog together with certain plugins that will help you take a blog post and put it on the very first page of Google in the number 1, 2, or 3 spot tomorrow. If your keyword research is done correctly. If you're building a blog post around your keywords, you can do that. And think how powerful that can be. For somebody who's, say, in a health and wellness company with a lot of products, selling supplements, things like that. If you do keyword research and find the right niche, you can put that blog post with your link to your product right on the first page of Google, where hundreds or maybe thousands of people will see it in front of everybody else's all month long. And a lot of it, being able to do that, depends on how the blog post is put together, how you construct it, and, writing around the keyword. But really, most of it is going to depend on your keyword research. If you're not doing your keyword research correctly, a lot of people don't do keyword research at all. They pull these things right out of the air and whoop, that's my keyword. Okay, I'm going for it. And they have no understanding of what it is at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to combat it, and we're going to combat that in a very, very simple way. Now, as Don Legere always says, you don't have to know 100% of everything, okay? And that's really, really true about keywords. You don't have to be some, techie internet guru type person that knows all of this really mysterious algorithmic stuff. You don't have to know that stuff. So don't let this scare you. Don't let it put you off. I let it put me off for years, okay? And there was a lot of time wasted when I could have been doing things that I can do now. I wish I had been able to do them then, but I was put off and scared by how creepy and how techie all this stuff. And what I didn't realize is I don't have to know all of it. If I know just the important part that is going to, that is going to contribute to my being found by people on the internet, to my products or my opportunity being found by people on the internet, then that's fine. And guys, I can tell you right now, what you need to know is very, very simple. Okay? That's all. And that's what we're going to cover. All right. So what the heck is a keyword? We got to start out with that. First of all, most people don't understand it. Now they hear this term about long tail keywords, and then they go, what the heck is a long tail keyword? Oh my God. Now we got keywords with, I don't know what a keyword is. Now we got them with tails. Oh my God. So it gets really intimidating. No, they don't bite. All right. That's the whole point of this. They don't bite. You can compose good content around keywords. You can do it very easily, and you can easily take a blog post designed to help your business and put it on the front page of Google tomorrow. And I'm going to show you the process as far as the keyword research involved in that to do that tonight. So here's our agenda. We're going to talk about what is a keyword and what is not a keyword. We're going to talk about broad search and long-tailed keywords. Okay, they are basically the opposite of each other. We're going to talk about, and there are different reasons, by the way, for having a broad search keyword as opposed to a long-tailed keyword. We're going to talk about the general process of finding a keyword. We'll talk about it in a general way, in a brainstorming way. And then we'll talk about locating a niche, which is market analysis. Keyword research is market analysis. And we're going to talk about how why you need to go through that process and how you want to go through that process. And then I'm going to show you that, Google gives us the main tools that we need for free. So we'll talk about the tools for analysis that Google gives you for free right on your screen. And then we're going to dive in there and we're going to actually do the process of doing some market research and finding a good keyword together. All right. So if you're ready, give me a yes in the text chat. If I've confused you so far, Let me know if I've confused you now. I mean, other than the the Google and Steve Jobs comment. All right. So the first thing is we got to figure out what a keyword is. All right. And most people have a humongous off the tracks conception. Okay. Is it something that identifies who you are? Is it something that identifies what you have to offer? You know, you'll be talking to people in health and wellness supplement companies, and their main keyword is supplement or health. You know, I dealt with a lady that, you know, when I asked her what the keyword, her keyword was for the main keyword she wanted to use for her blog, it was health. And, you know, there's a lot of reasons why that's not what you want for a lot of keywords. It's something else. This is what a keyword is. It's what somebody is going to stick in Google when they're looking for what you have. All right? You want to make it so that someone who has a credit card right in their hand, they're sitting in their Schwartz at 2:30 in the morning, you know, with their credit card, and they've got the buying Jones going on, and they want to buy something. You want to make it, you know, and if they're looking for something that's like what you have to offer, you want to make it so that that person with the credit card in their hand finds you. Okay? When they search for what you have. If you can do that, boom, you know, ka-ching, that's a winner. That's what real keyword selection can do for you. The correct keywords can make that happen. So keep this in mind. A real targeted keyword is going to be something that somebody would put into Google when they are looking for what you have, when they are looking to purchase what you have or to join your opportunity. So broad and you know, broad search keywords means basically non-targeted keywords. Long-tailed keywords means targeted keywords. What's the difference? All right. Let's take the word supplements. All right, you're in a health and wellness company, and you know, your company sells supplements. All right. Like the lady who said her keyword is is health. All right. Supplements is the same kind of thing. Supplements is a keyword. All right. And if you've got a website with all those kind of products on it and you're doing that kind of recruiting and sponsoring, supplements is, you know, and you want to sell vitamins, then supplements is a keyword. But guess what? Who's going to put in supplements? Who's going to go to Google and put in supplements? What person is going to do that? Give me answers in the text chat. You know, who would that person be? What would they be looking for if they went to Google and they put in supplements? That could be somebody looking for vitamins. That could be, somebody looking to find out what that word means or how to spell it. It could be somebody looking for, they're writing a report. They're in college. They're in high school. And they want to write a report on supplements of some kind or another. Maybe it's somebody who wants to find out how to create a properly formatted supplement to a report that they're doing for work or somehow. I'm not seeing any responses in the text chat, guys. Are you hearing me? Give me a yes in the text chat if you can hear me. Okay, cool. All right. So supplements is a keyword, but you can see that all sorts of people might put it in. That's not what you want. Okay. I don't want that guy writing a report, putting, I'm going to be in competition with too many people there and I'm not going to get the right guy. Okay. So now let's say, we say, okay, so we're going to get more specific. Our company sells natural supplements. Now, natural supplements is a long-tail keyword. A long-tail keyword simply means one that, is more, it's a phrase. It's not just one word. And, but that doesn't mean it's good. Okay? Natural supplements. Who would put that in? You got the same kind of problem. Because you got maybe somebody who wants to find out what kind of natural supplements there are. Maybe you got somebody who is writing a report about the difference between natural supplements and synthetic supplements. It can be all sorts of different people might put that into Google. Now, I'm going to ask you this question. I'd like to see some answers in the text chat. Who would put in best natural supplements for women over 45? As far as I've thought about this one for a long time. And as far as I can tell, there are only two kinds of people who would put in best natural supplements for women over 45. Yep, women over 45, daughters of women over 45. Okay, yeah. You guys are very close. I would get even more specific with it. A woman over 45 looking to buy the best natural supplements for her, or someone who cares about a woman over 45 and wants to guide her to buying or wants to buy for her. People who put those kind of things in, guys, you're exactly right with who you said. But people who put keywords that are that detailed, that's somebody ready to purchase the vitamins that you have, okay? Now look at the targeting. Look at the difference. And I'm going to tell you right now, there is room for both in what you do, all right? There's room for very broad keywords, and there's room for really long tail specific keywords. They both do different jobs. Now, when you get in and you start putting together a WordPress blog, you're going to get into your basic blog settings, and right away it's going to ask you for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 keywords that you're going to build your blog around. Well, something like natural supplements might be one you'd consider if you were in a thing like that. In that case, you're looking for general keywords that are going to underlie your website for a long time. You're going to be pounding away at that keyword. It's going to be, if you're going to be posting actively on your blog for years, you're going to be putting up content for a long period of time. And that means that a not so specific keyword might be okay. Now, in general, when we get into talking about marketing research here, market research and niches, I'm going to give you specific parameters of what you want to stay inside if you want to put a blog post on the first page of Google tomorrow or the day after, okay? And those are very specific and they're very restrictive. Well, what I'm telling you here is, you can bend those a bit for your broader keyword terms that you might use in like the setup of your WordPress blog in general, okay? Does that make sense? Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? That when you set up your blog, you're going to run into this. You're going to see it on the SEO, all-in-one SEO pack. And those keywords don't have to be as restrictive in the market research as what I'm going to tell you in a few minutes, okay? Well, Cal gets it. Okay, Cal, just so long as you get it, that's all right with me. And if you have questions about that, we can talk about that. But I just wanted to put your mind at rest that you can open up the criteria a bit when you're talking about those things. Now, when you're using something like SEO Presser or the Yoast plugin, and you're designing a blog post that you're going to do content distribution on it, and you really want to put it on the front page of Google, then you need to be using a really good, long-tailed, very specific keyword. And we'll find out why as we go along. All right. Now, so how do we start out? I mean, a lot of people will say, okay, we're going to select keywords, and they don't know where to start. They don't even know how to generalize. Well, guys, it's simple brainstorming. All right. I call this conjuring keywords, and it's a simple process. And I found this diagram that somebody had created, and it's interesting because I always saw it in 3 steps. But they broke down synonyms and colloquialisms to 2 different things. So here's the general process. You sit down, you get yourself some quiet time, and what you're going to do, and this is a good, travel is a good example. Let's say you're in TVI or you're in one of the travel clubs or something like that, and you've got travel packages to sell and an opportunity to promote or something like that, whatever it is, and you want to come up with keywords. All right. Well, the first thing you do is you take a pad of paper and you write some very general concept keywords. Like, for instance, travel. All right? You write about 3 or 4 or 5 of those down. Then you move on, okay? You say, well, I've got my 3 or 4 or 5 real general concepts here. Now, guys, those might be your keywords for underlying your entire website, right there. However, you'd probably want to do a little research on them to verify that, and you'll see why in a while. But you got these 3 or 4 or 5 words. Then you're going to go a little deeper. You're going to look at each one, and you're going to come up with whatever synonyms you can come up with. For instance, if you write down travel, you might come up with holiday. You might come up with the word break, and anything like that. Sylvan interlude, I don't know, synonyms for your main word. Get out your thesaurus, for God's sake, Go ahead and do it that way. Then after that, come up with, along the same line, colloquialisms for the same thing. You got travel, then you broke that down into Hollywood and holiday and break, and then you might come up with trip, getaway, vacation, and then after you list a whole bunch of those, then you're going to qualify them with modifiers, with adjectives, okay? Late holiday deals, cheap holiday Australia, city break, UK vacation, luxury getaway. You'll come up with a whole bunch of them. You're going to have a page that's scribbled full. And what is it scribbled full of? It's scribbled full of ideas, because at this point, we're only dealing with ideas, all right? Are you following me? Does this process seem simple? This is simple brainstorming. You can do it with a partner. You can do it by yourself. Give me a yes in the text chat if you're following what I'm suggesting here, and if it makes sense to you. Janet's got it. Patsy's got it. Okay, cool. All right, guys, this is really easy, but what you end up with is you'll end up with a whole bunch of things all over. Patsy, you're making a note? Here, use this one. That's a B flat. I hope it helped, okay? Oh, Janet's got sound now when you turn your volume up. Yeah, that's the one. Usually when I can't hear anything, it's because I'm standing on the cord. All right, so at the end of this process, conjuring keywords, you'll have a whole lot of words written all over the page, a lot of phrases and everything else. But they are still only ideas, and ideas are a good starting place, but they are not market research. And that is what you've got at this point. You've got a whole bunch of ideas. So that's where you start. Now, then you have to move on to market analysis. Now, this is really, if you're going to, want to put that blog post on the front page of Google. And let's say, for the purposes of this evening, I'm in a health and wellness company. We have a product that lowers cholesterol. All right? And I want to write a blog post about this product. And I want to put that, include my link to my website selling my product in that blog post. And I want to put this blog post on the front page of Google tomorrow. Can I do it? You guys think I could do it? I can tell you right now, I can do it. Okay? I've done it. I've done it before. I've done it many times. Actually, I've done it in a few hours. So I know John does. John knows I can do it. Okay? I know John can do it too. But first you need to do your market analysis. All right? I know what I want to sell, but I've got to find out some things. If you're going to go to a keyword is a niche. A niche is a market. Now, let me ask you this. If you're going down to the boulevard here in Big Bear and you're going to open a store, you got to find out 2 things. You got to know what the competition's like. How many other stores are there selling my product within a mile or within 2 miles or on the same block? And you also got to know how many customers there are. All right? You got to know how many customers are available if they're already taken up by stores selling the same thing there. You got to know what all that ratio is. And now, that's something you would not open a store without finding out that information. Because first of all, you're not going to be able to get any financing for it. because you're going to have to come up with a business plan and put that all down on there. You know, how many customers in the area? What's the head count of the population? You know, all that stuff. You're going to have to put that in there. You're going to have to find it out. So what does that mean on the web? How do we do that on the internet? It's really, really very simple. What's the competition like? That is simply how many websites are tied to that keyword. If you want to get to the front page of Google, you have to climb up through the top and be in that first 7 or 8 of all the websites that are actually using that keyword. Because when somebody searches the keyword, boop, those websites are going to come up, right? Okay. So, so you got to be in the first 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. And you need to know how many you're going to have to crawl over to get there. Now, how many customers are there? That's how many people are actually searching that keyword. You may have, you know, something with very few websites tied into it, and you say to yourself, wow, I can get on the front page of that really easy. But it won't matter if nobody's searching it. It doesn't matter if I am the only store in Big Bear that's selling, you know, Pod Snaps Kleebles, if there is no one in Big Bear that wants to buy Pod Snaps Kleebles. Okay, you get what I'm saying? So these are the things we need to determine. How many websites are tied to that keyword and how many people are actually searching that keyword. And Google gives us the tools to do exactly that. They give it to us for free. They give us a whole lot more tools. And I'm going to be showing you an interesting one. I'll mention it tonight, but I'm going to be showing you soon how to use another one of the Google tools that's really, really interesting and has a lot to do with areas like Big Bear where we have seasonal markets in things. But for now, we're going to look at how you find out those two things and how you really, really, drill down to find good long tail keywords. And we're going to do this in a very, very simple way. The tools are simple. They're Google search and the Google keyword tool. That's all. Now, I know everybody has been to Google search. Some of you may not have seen the Google keyword tool, and we'll see it tonight. Why are we doing this? You need to understand. Because when I started out, what we're doing here is we're doing what's called search engine marketing. We're designing a blog post to perform search engine marketing for you. And what that does is, it's good to communicate to your list. It's good to build relationships with your list. It's good to, present your products and everything to your list and share things with your list. But your list is already your list. Search engine marketing, the power of search engine marketing is you can be found by people you don't know and who don't know you. And at that point, they can get on your list. All right. This is all about bringing new people into your sphere of influence, so that they can start to get to know, like, and trust you, and look at your blog and look at what's going on. And this person knows a lot about this, knows a lot about that. It's all about search engine marketing equals bringing new people who don't know you into your sphere of influence. Now, to do that, when I started out doing this, and those of you who have been around for a while will remember this, when you got involved with a company or a program or anything else, the first thing they taught you to do was, here's your affiliate site. Now go get an account at Google AdWords and get some really cheap AdWords and put this ad up. You can do it for $10 a week. Okay? How many of you guys here remember hearing this? Was this not what we were all taught, 10 years, 7 years, 6 years ago? There's Cal. Yep, Cal knows. I know you know. Of course. Of course, this was the first thing in the, success book that came with the system or whatever it was. This is what we were taught. And yes, it was easy to do back then because I built an organization of literally hundreds of people in a funded sponsoring system. The one I met Janet through about 6 years ago, and did it almost completely with Google AdWords. And I was not paying more than 15 cents, 20 cents a click. I would occasionally, for certain things, go up to 78, 80 cents, maybe $1, you know. Um, John, that's very funny. $100 Google gift certificates are not good unless you know how to use them. Yes, well, I had a bunch of those back then. And, you know, the fact of the matter is that, you know, you could get those kind of keywords. Well, two things have happened. Number one, the first one I'll just tell you about. Today, all of the big corporations have gotten wise. Walgreens, Walmart, Sears Roebuck, all of them do massive AdWords advertising. Verizon, Nextel, all the cell phone and telephone companies, all of, you know, DirecTV and all of the, you know, all of the communications guys, all of these huge corporations. And every one of them has at least a $40 million a year budget to spend on Google AdWords. So, you know, how are you going to compete with this? Guess what else? They have to spend their budget. They absolutely have to spend all of it, because if they don't spend all of it, they won't get as much next year. And they'll have less people in their division and things like that. So they have to spend their budget. And the other reason they have to spend it is because if they don't spend it, they don't get the tax write-off for it. So they're just out there very, very willing to pay $7, $8, sometimes $12 a click for stuff that 10 years ago you could get for $3 and $4 a click. All right. At that time back then, you know, words like home business was a $3 to $4 a click word if you wanted to be involved in that. And all of us said, no, we're not going to do that. You know, leave those to those great big huge guys and blah, blah, blah. Well, now guess what? The big huge guys are $8 to $12, and you got to compete with that. There is no way. You know, okay, here's John says $4.15, $15. $15 a click is what they charge you in February, and nothing. Okay, that's exactly right. You can go absolutely broke before you can say, who laid the reels? Boom, you're broke, you know, using Google AdWords. You can't compete with them. And because they are such a huge part of Google's, you know, income, Google doesn't care about us little guys anymore. Doesn't give a damn about us. Okay, as far as Google AdWords go. So they're dumping Google AdWords accounts left and right, and AdSense accounts and everything else, because you just don't pay them enough every year. All right, and that's really the only reason, because they don't care about us. They care about us in other ways, though. The other reason Google AdWords sucks is what you're looking at. This is eye tracking analysis. Eye tracking analysis is where you set people in front of a computer screen, you put goggles on them, and you show them things on the screen, and the goggles are registering what they look at, how quick they get to a place, how often they stay in a certain area. And what you're looking at is results of hundreds of people on each one of those shots, averaged out by computer programs. And if you look at it, it's just like infrared photography. You know, you'll see something really glaring on both of them. The huge majority of people are looking at and spending all their time on the first 3 or 4 of what are called the organic results. They're not looking at the first ad along the top, which is a Google AdWord, or the first ad along the side, or the ads along the side. These are two different ways of display, so the one on the right is a little more detailed. Yeah, they look at the first ad quickly. They look at the first ad on the right quickly, and they get back to the organic results. Okay. Now, why is this happening? This was not the case 10 years ago. And the reason it wasn't the case was because at that point, you had a whole bunch of people finding out what Google search was all about. Now, you have a whole generation that's grown up using it. And, you know, and a whole bunch of other people who got used to it and have trained over the last 10 years of what it really is. And they know that thing across the top and that thing on the side, that's where people try to sell me stuff. That stuff down the middle, that's where I find the information that I'm looking for, and people want to help me. Okay, so that's why you want to be there. You want to be in the first 4, 5, 6 of the organic results. All right, and that means you do that with content. content creation and content distribution. Blog posts created in the right way and distributed around the net, videos pointing to them, podcasts pointing to them, and all of that stuff will put you there. And that's where Google cares about us, because we provide the good organic information. And if we do it right, we're ranked right there. And that information is what brings Google's customers back to use their search engine again and again. And that means that their big paying AdWords customers will keep paying them $40 million a year to put those useless ads around our good information. Okay? So this is why you need to learn this keyword stuff, because keywords are the key to that hot red area. And that's what we're going to talk about right now, and we're going to get into it. So what we're going to do is some keyword research. I'm going to go to desktop sharing, and we're going to do some very, very basic keyword research with those two questions in mind. Number one, what is our competition? And number two, how many customers are there? Okay? And I'm going to show you exactly how to do this in a very, very easy way. There's a few tricks along the way, but this is recorded, so you'll be able to see it again. Take notes if you want. Mainly just relax and enjoy it. Are we ready to go to desktop sharing? Give me a yes in the text chat if you are ready for this. Okay. Tell me when you see a giant Monty in the middle of your screen. I can see the text chat, so go ahead and tell me when that's happening. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Monty is my owner, and he's allowing me to be here tonight. Okay. I figured I had to have a dog the size of my ego. All right. So now I'm going to give you a suggestion, guys in the room. It might be better for you if you close down the members area of the screen you're looking at. Also might be better if you click the Zoom 100% button underneath the text chat. Sometimes that makes it look better. In the meantime, I'll just go ahead and you can do it whichever way you want to do it. Now, we're going to start out with Google. All right. And we're also going to start out with a notepad. And let's say I am in that company. I'm in a health and wellness company. We've got a supplement that lowers cholesterol. All right. So I'm going to start out with my general keyword. Cholesterol. Okay. Let's say that's my keyword that I want to investigate first. And I want to somehow find a niche that I can dominate in here. Now, I'm going to come to Google, and the first thing I'm going to do, if you're, the reason you're seeing this is because I'm signed into my Google account, all right, and I have this image there. Now, what I'm going to do is, before I do this, I'm always going to sign out. I don't want to be signed into Google because Google will try to give me things that are aligned with what I have searched before, and I don't want to do that. I want absolutely objective keyword research. Now, I want to also check my search settings before I do this. Clicking on the search settings, and I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to deselect Google Instant. I do not want to use Google Instant when I'm doing keyword research because it will give me skewed results just as if I had been logged in. So I'm going to save the preferences. And I'm always going to check that again. I'm going to check my search settings because, okay, good. Because a lot of times, not just once in a while, a lot of times you will come back in here and find that it reset to the other thing again. All right, let's go to Google. Now, I'm going to take my word that I put on my, right here. I've got it on my keyboard, on my clipboard. So I'm going to put it in there. All right. Now, right away, look what Google's doing. It's giving me other suggestions, guys. It's going to suggest things for me all over the place. Let's do that again. There we go. Cholesterol levels. Cholesterol lowering foods. Now, that might be an interesting one. Cholesterol ratio, cholesterol medications. No. Cholesterol diet, cholesterol in eggs, cholesterol HDL. All right, well, cholesterol lowering foods might be an interesting one. So I'm going to put that here. So before we've even done anything, Google has already given me suggestions for something else. Although my product is not foods, I might want to look into this as, a way to get me to another keyword. And you'll see how in a few minutes. All right, so I'm going to go to cholesterol, and I'm going to do a search right here. Now, here we go, and guess what Google is telling me? Right here, guys, every time you do this, about 80 million results. Now, what that's telling me is there's about 80 million websites with the word cholesterol in them. That's all that is. The word cholesterol is in the website, okay? And guess what? That's too much competition for me. I don't want to deal with something like that. However, let me look at this one. I'm going to just take this as an example and use it. Cholesterol-lowering foods. Now, look what happens again. Other suggestions. Foods list, foods recipe. Cholesterol-lowering foods list women. These are all things, cholesterol-lowering foods and supplements. These are all keywords, long-tail keywords that people have searched. That's why they're appearing here. Let's look at the results here, because I want to demonstrate something. All right, here are our results. We have about 1,960,000 results. That means there's 1,960,000 results that have the words cholesterol-lowering foods. Now, they have those words not necessarily together like that. You get me? They have the words, all three of them, but they don't necessarily have the phrase cholesterol-lowering foods. And this is where the narrow Google search comes in. If I want to get websites, how many websites have that phrase as a phrase on the website, I need to put quotations before and quotations afterwards. That will tell me what I want to know, all right? When you do this, you want to use what's called, a specific search, a narrow search in Google by putting the quotations before and after. And that's going to bring the number down to 307,000 websites tied in. Now, that for my purposes is probably still too many websites. All right. So what does my product do? Okay. My product lowers cholesterol, right? I've got a natural supplement that lowers cholesterol. So let's put in, what would somebody put in that wants to, get their cholesterol down? Lower cholesterol? All right, well, look at this. Look at this. Here is a suggested keyword, guys. This is one that's already used. Google is telling me something. They're telling me that people do search this, okay? Lower cholesterol diet, lower IDL, lower cholesterol fast. There's another one. Lower cholesterol without drugs. How about that? Okay? All of these sound like very cool things. Let's look at this one. Lower cholesterol naturally, 1 million results when I get specific about it. Let's see what we find. Lower cholesterol naturally, 469,000 results. Hold on. Lowering cholesterol naturally. I see right here that it's searched. What happens when I search it? 55,700 results. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I can dominate this market. I can dominate that search term. Okay? I'm going to put it right here. Lowering cholesterol naturally, and I'm going to go out here and put in 55,700 sites. All right, let's look for one more. What was one of the other ones? Lower. Oh yeah. Lower cholesterol fast was another one, okay? Let's try that specifically. See what we get. 529,000 results. I'm going to let that one pass, okay? Let me put ing. Lowering cholesterol fast. 102,000. You know what? I'm going to take that. Here's the parameters, guys. If you want to be on the first page of Google, you want to get, ideally, you want to get something that's 100,000 or less sites tied into it. Okay? So we have 2 now. This is 102. All right, well, this one will be a little tougher than this one. But what we want to do is we want to find out, okay, we got 2 where we know we can go out there and we can get it on the first page. All right? Now, here's the thing. We need to find out the other thing, because this is, what's our competition like? But now what we want to find out is we want to find out if there's any customers in that market, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the other tool, and here's how you find it. I'm just going to put in Google Keyword Tool, and there it is. Pops up right here. You want the one that says Keyword Tool External. I'm going to go very quickly now, guys, and show you a couple more things, and that's all we're going to have time for tonight. All right, well, this is the Google Keyword Tool, and this is what it looks like, and what we're going to do is very easy. We're going to check out these 2 really quickly, and I'll just show you how this works. We're going to take that keyword, lowering cholesterol naturally, and I'm going to put it right here. Paste it in there. Now, this will show you, you set this up first in your Google account to, your location. So it's going to show my language and my nation right here. And the first keyword you look for, you're going to have to do this. ITYUST. I hate these things. Okay, just so they know that you're not a bot of some kind, and you're going to search it, and it's going to give you your results. Now I'm going to let me zoom out a bit. This will look better for you guys. Yeah, I'm going to even zoom out one more. Okay, and what we're going to see here is here's the information for lowering cholesterol naturally. It tells me there's 9,900 searches around the world per month, and locally, which is my country, there are 5,400 searches. So this is an excellent keyword, guys, because it's 55,700 sites and 9,900 searches globally per month. What that means is if I can make a blog post that's highly optimized to that keyword, I can probably put it in the 1, 2, or 3 spot on Google, within a couple of days. Oh, that's why. Within a couple of days at the most. And what that'll mean is 9,900 people are going to be seeing that. Okay? Dale says, what was this site again? This is the Google Keyword Tool. All right? And here's the other thing that it's doing. It's showing me a whole bunch of other suggestions. You can look, all I did was put that in, and I found one good word here, and it's telling me all of these other suggestions. Lower cholesterol naturally, 27,100 searches. We already know that's got quite a lot of websites tied into it. How to lower cholesterol naturally, 27,100 searches a month. Let's see what the competition is. By clicking on that, I will open this in another tab. It searches it for me. I can put my quotations around it and find out that there's 424,000 websites tied into that. So maybe that's not a good one, all right? Now, I wouldn't be afraid of this one if I was going to do massive distribution of the content of this blog post, and if I was going to continue to do that for a couple months, I could get there, all right? Under 500,000, if you're using something like SEO Presser or the Yoast plugin, and you're really optimizing your blog posts, and you're going to do a video and a podcast, and you're going to distribute those all over the place, and you're going to do this for a couple months, you can dominate something that's this big. All right, but you have to know, that you're going to do that. Otherwise, stay under 100,000 here. But that's what this is telling you. Reducing cholesterol naturally, 12,100 searches per month. Let's put our quotations around it. So you get into the Google, you do your, hold on. Well, still 308,000 websites on this narrow search. So, this is the process, guys. We have found one lowering cholesterol fast. Let's look that one up, all right? Really quickly here. Lowering cholesterol fast. Let's see what the deal is with that one. Okay, there's 1,900 searches per month. So what have I got here? I've got a couple of, fairly good keywords. This one is really good. Lowering cholesterol naturally, all right? And these are real good numbers on both sides. This one is a good number for searches. You want a minimum of 1,000 searches, all right? Ideally. And you want to stay under 100,000 sites. Well, I would go with this one, okay? And if you're doing both of them, then you're talking about over 10,000 searches, okay? And this is the process, guys. What we did, we started out brainstorming, conjuring keywords. We took some keywords that we conjured, and we came in and just started doing Google searches to find the number of sites tied into them to see if they were at all feasible. And then after that, we got into the Google keyword tool to find out specifically, if there were any customers. We found the ones where we could handle the competition, and then found the ones that provided enough customers to make them feasible. And we did it all basically starting with Google. And that's the tools that Google gives us, okay? So I'm going to come out of desktop sharing. There we go. And back to the presentation. All right. And that's it, guys. That is basic keyword research. Really, really easy. Now, questions. We only got a few minutes here. So I want to go through your questions. Can you find good keywords by Googling the competition name? Sometimes. Sure you can. If you've got a company name, Company X, you can maybe find, tired of company, there's people who do what's called, contra advertising. In other words, they'll say the name of an MLM company, and their keyword will be, is that company a scam? And then it turns out they're members of the company. And they're writing a blog post about, is it a scam? Well, if I joined and it's working for me, and no, it's not, So there's all sorts of things you can do. But the best, like John says, best ones, stay in the market you're in. Because somebody who's doing that contra searching, they're not ready to buy. They're too timid and afraid of what it is to buy. So if you go, writing, X company, is X company a scam? And you do one of those reverse reviews where you say, no, it's not, and I'm a member and join with me. You're not going to get a lot of people with their credit card ready to do it. You're going to get people who are too timid to be there. All right. So let's see. What else? What else? How do you know whether the keywords are for buyers versus information seekers? It's all in how you get specific, Cal. And there is an art to this after a while. You just have to, the best way, the way it all comes down to is testing, eventually. So like I said, I would use both those keywords. I would come up with blog posts designed for 3 or 4 or 5 keywords in that situation and do blog posts based on each one and see what happens through each one and trace where your buyers are coming from. Because, if you get all looky-loos in one keyword, drop it and take the effort you're putting in on that one and put it in on keywords that work. That's the reason Google Analytics is so vital, to know where your people are coming from, to know how long they're staying on the site, to actually know all that stuff and look in there and see which keywords are actually bringing people to your site. You can do that in Google Analytics. So that, what's a good keyword. Oh, this keyword's bringing 25% of our visitors. I'm going to do more content on that keyword. And I'm going to forget about this one because only one person came that month through that keyword. So that's what I would suggest doing it. Knowing who the actual buyers are you might actually have to, at that point, ask them, And if you're building your list the right way and building relationships with people, I've done that a lot of times. When you found me on Google, what did you search? Okay, it's pretty easy. Okay, if you have good videos in your site and people stay on it for more than 2 minutes, then Google will like you more and send you more traffic. That's exactly true. That's part of the algorithm. So anyway, guys, we don't have much time for anything more. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to go on because I want Janet to be able to talk. But, I just want to let you know I'm easily found at any of the sources you see on the screen right there. By the way, that is not correct. That Skype thing, this is an old Skype, this is an old slide. My Skype address is steve.gaghagen. Okay, there's a dot between the first and last name. And, Skype me, email me, find me online, phone me. I don't care. Because if yous don't ask, how's the yous gonna learn, eh? I ask you. All right. And, oh, boy, that went to a white screen. My computer's doing funny stuff. Where are we Saturday morning? Saturday morning, we are with Janet and Don Legere, if we have any brains in our heads at all. Well, that doesn't explain why the heck I'm there, but I'm going to be there anyway, okay? That's at janetlegere.com. /live-training at 9 a.m. Pacific and noon Eastern time. And Janet, would you like to come up and tell us what the heck we are going to be doing in class on Saturday?
I've been having internet issues all day today, so I do apologize for that. But hey, here we are. Glad to be here. And Saturday, I got to tell you guys, thank you, Steve. You come to my rescue all the time. And this Saturday, Steve is going to come and talk to us about the colors of personality. And I don't know, I learn more about this subject every time I hear Steve talk about it. I'm purely selfish this weekend because this is an area that I need some more help in. So I figure it's time for Steve to come and talk more about the personalities or the colors of personality. And I'm looking forward to it. So Steve's going to share that, and we're going to learn about how to communicate with the different colors because I need some more lessons on that. So that'll be good. So it's purely selfish. I want Steve to come and teach me. Pardon me. It's getting to be fall here. It's raining and one of those days here today. But I'm looking forward to learning more about the colors of personality because every time I hear this call, I learn something else about myself. Of course, I already know who I am, but when I learn more about myself, it's more about how to communicate with others a little better. So I'm learning, guys. We all have that opportunity every day, every minute of every day to start fresh, right, guys? So thanks, Steve. I'm looking forward to the call Saturday, noon Eastern. You guys can find us at janetlegere.com /live-training. Or just go to janetlegere.com. You'll find the information there on my blog. We're not hard to find. So thanks, Steve. Looking forward to Saturday.
Okay, thank you, Janet. And Don will be talking about choices and success. That sounds very cool, Don. We actually talk a lot about that in the Tuesday morning, in the Morning Motivator when we do the Tuesday morning meditations about the choices you have, the choices of, what of the things running around in your head you're going to grab onto that day. If you're going to grab onto the stuff that's going to help you, or if you're going to grab onto the stuff that's going to hurt you, or if you're just going to let that stuff go. So we talk about that a lot. I'm interested to hear what you have to say on Saturday. So I will definitely be there on Saturday. Next Thursday. Hello. The Tuesday morning thing is it's at 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 Eastern. Robin, I think you'll see it in. We do it. It happens every morning, Monday through Friday. Janet does Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and I do the Tuesday, and we do meditations on Tuesday morning. So you're welcome to join us any of those sessions. Yes, you are grandparenting, and we are taking care of our brains. All right, which is something not enough people do. So 7 a.m., 10 a.m. On Tuesdays, if you'd like to join us, that's I love those sessions. I'm a meditator for decades. And without that, I would not have my brains. People say I don't have them anyway. But at least I enjoy them, and I do understand them. So next week, next Thursday night, same bat time, same bat station, we're going to be talking about content creation. Specifically, we'll be talking about article writing. People go, I have to write another article. Oh my God, I don't like the writing these things. Well, we're going to make it really simple for you. We're going to give you a 30-minute article writing method that works for anybody. I can teach anybody to do this. It is so simple. You will think you're, John Steinbeck or somebody by the time we get done with this. A very, very simple thing. We'll give you all the tools to do it. By the time we're done, you'll be able to sit down and write an article that is really designed to grab traffic and bring it to your website, and you'll do that in 30 minutes or less. Does that sound like a good idea? It's really easy. It's really, really easy. And anybody can do it. You don't have to be John Steinbeck. So that's what we're going to be doing next weekend, next Thursday, right here in the Learning Wing at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Until that time, thank you, everybody. I will stick around here if anybody needs me in the room, but we're going to end the movie for purposes of the video. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this evening. I hope it was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.